is going on with Autobots and Decepticons? Welcome back to Up Nation. Today is a very special day because we get to break down the entire teaser trailer today. Today is all about the teaser trailer. We're going to do a full analysis, breakdown, all that cool stuff because there's a lot of stuff to talk about from this teaser trailer, and you guys saw my reaction to it. I was more than happy with this trailer. I was absolutely happy with this trailer. I almost cried, actually, because of certain stuff that we saw in the trailer, but we're going to break it down shot by shot and just talk about every single thing that we saw actually in this trailer, and speculate away. So let's just cut this intro and let's get down with our analysis / breakdown. Alright, the first shot that happens in the trailer is this. It's a sword, and it's just dripping blood. And, you know, it kind of, like, sets the mood, which is kind of cool. It pretty much sets the mood of this movie so far. And, I don't know, is this a Cybertronian sword? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is this a Cybertronian sword? Because it looks like a robotic sword. It doesn't look like something that the humans would have made. But, you know, I haven't seen, like, the whole metal part of the sword, but who knows? Next shot is this beautiful shot of just like knights and everybody just going at it at each other in a forest area. My speculation is that this could possibly be like maybe at the beginning of the movie or maybe towards like the middle of the movie. Like maybe when the humans, like, because we established that there is time travel involved. Like there is time travel involved, and I believe that maybe this is the middle part of the movie. And then maybe Mark Wahlberg and the rest of the crew maybe goes back in time, and this is like one of the first scenes that they actually see in medieval times. Maybe that's what happens, or maybe it's in the beginning of the movie and it just establishes like what happens in the past and all that cool stuff. But anyways, not that much to talk about here. But the next shot is more knights. We've seen these like in behind the scenes and all that. It's just, you know, in the nice IMAX thing. The thing that was really cool about this trailer is that it's mostly IMAX shots. That's the thing I liked about this trailer. There's a lot of IMAX footage involved in the trailer, and that gets me really excited because I'm definitely going to see this movie in IMAX 3D without a doubt. So just a bunch of knights, nothing new there. Now this is the shot that I want to talk about for a second. The dragon, dude, I almost screamed when I saw that dragon because that is either Megatron or that is Predaking, because I don't know what to make of the shot, because I don't know if this is in the past or if this is in, like, you know, towards the middle or the end of the movie, but my speculation, I've said a million times, I believe that this is Megatron and they've taken influence from the Robots in Disguise. Megatron, when he had those 3 heads, that's what I think, because I don't know, just look at it. I mean, that would fit for Megatron, and I think that the metallic look, again, fits for Megatron in this movie, since he's going back into that whole metallic gray / dark gray type of color, and it kind of fits for the dragon as well, but it could very well be Predaking, and I kind of hope that it is Predaking, so we could have, like, some new characters, and looks pretty cool. I mean, not a whole lot to say. I mean, this shot in and of itself is pretty beautiful. I mean, it's a nice looking shot. And, you know, IMAX just definitely amps up the looks of each shot. But I am really curious to see who this character is. I am still sticking at that it could be Megatron, but it could highly be Predaking as well. But we don't know yet, so. But that's that shot. The next shot involves more knights. It involves more knights, and they have like these arrows, and they have like, you know, fire. Like, you know, this is just like casual like knight stuff that they would do back in medieval times when they're engaging in battle. So nothing big there. But you see more explosions, and you see Nazis. People are still asking, why are Nazis in this movie? Well, I have to be honest, I have no idea why they're still in this movie. But maybe it's because of like they have to go back into the Nazi times and they have to get an artifact. Like, my theory is this. I feel like maybe most of the movie is going to be involved in the past than in the present, because maybe something happens in present day that they have to go back and get an artifact or something to bring back to the present. That's what I'm thinking. But Nazis are in there. It's by the Winston Churchill. So, someone had a cool theory, which we'll talk about later on, but this is still an interesting, shot, because you're like, Nazis taking over Winston Churchill? It's pretty interesting. But there was that, and then we have, of course, more explosions and stuff, and, all the casual stuff from director Michael Bay, of course. And then we get to this shot, which I want to talk about for a second. This is a baseball field, and I have a theory about when this takes place. Because first off, look at the destruction of this baseball stadium. It is absolutely like a war happened here. Like something big happened here. And I have a theory. And if we keep going closer into the baseball field with the kids, here's where my theory comes into play. You see a drone part, like one of those drone ships? One of their parts right there. Now my theory is that this takes place after or during the events of Transformers Dark of the Moon. That's my theory. I think that maybe it takes place during Transformers Dark of the Moon, or maybe after Transformers Dark of the Moon, and the kids are just like, coming back from all the destruction, and they just like notice all these parts and such. Because remember in Age of Extinction, a lot of characters were taking parts of the ships. Like the first, like all the humans after Dark of the Moon were taking like a bunch of the drone parts, and we saw with KSI they used those parts to build robots. But with like Galvatron and such. But with these kids, they're just, they're coming to the baseball field, and they're just looking at all the destruction, and they stumble upon, if we go to here, with Isabella Moner's character, they find an Autobot. Now, here is where the speculation comes into play. Everyone's asking, who is this Autobot character? Now, when I saw this, I was kind of shocked, because I didn't think that this would be what we saw. But interesting. A lot of people are saying like who this could possibly be. I'm gonna say it because a lot of people are saying it as well. I'm gonna say that this is Wreck-Gar. Now we have said that Wreck-Gar could possibly show up in this movie, and I think that this is Wreck-Gar in his Cybertronian form. And then what happens later on is that he gets the giant junkyard truck thing that we saw a little while back, and he becomes that mode. And there's a whole scene, which we'll talk about in a second, that is in a like junkyard type of area, but we'll talk about that in a second. But I think that it's Wreck-Gar. I just feel like that could be the case. But the thing I do like about his look is, if this is Wreck-Gar, I like the face. Like the face is definitely different. You can tell like Cybertronian lips and all that. Lots of better details are shown off. Like, that's the thing I like. There's a lot of cool details shown off right here, and it looks very, very nice. So there's that. And then we get to this shot. So a lot of people are wondering what this is. When I first saw that, I thought, oh my god, are we going to the 80s movie? But it's a Cybertronian ship. That's what we have established. It's a Cybertronian ship, and they have to use these submarines to go down there. Now, we don't know what's down there. It could be like maybe an artifact, or maybe they have to bring this thing back up to the surface. Or, this is just my theory, maybe I'm just throwing it out there, maybe it's an ancient Cybertronian, like a huge ancient Cybertronian, and maybe it's Omega Supreme or Metroplex? Maybe, I don't know. But, that's just my theory on it. I'm just thinking, like, this is a huge, like, ship. It'd be cool if it was like a Autobot character like Metroplex or Omega Supreme, but I highly doubt that they're gonna do that. But still, that'd be really cool. But I know a lot of stuff happened on set with the submarine scene, but not a whole lot. Like Mark Wahlberg and Laura Haddock are apparently very prominent in this scene, but not much to talk about there, because it's a teaser, but only supposed to show you so much. But now we get to another interesting shot in the trailer, and that is Optimus Prime floating in space. Floating in space. Now, here's where the speculation comes into play. What happened to Optimus Prime? I mean, what happened to him? Now, there are two theories that are going around, and I am mostly sticking with those. and that is one is that maybe Optimus Prime did not make it to the creators, and he's just floating around in space. Or the other theory that I think is a lot more reasonable is that he finds the creators and they like beat him up and they just throw him out into space. Because look at his chest. His chest looks like there's been bullet holes or something. Like something beat up Optimus Prime to get him into this state. And you could clearly tell that he is just devastated. I mean, look at him. Like he's all rusty. His debris is just floating in space, and he is just out of it, man. I mean, he is out of it. I mean, I like that we're getting more shots in the space. I like that. I like that we're getting more shots in the space. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm really fascinated to see what happens to Optimus Prime, because what happened? Because did he die? No, he did not die, obviously, but what happened? Like, that's the thing. Like, what happened to Optimus Prime? I'm gonna stick with the second theory. Like, if the creators, he makes it to the creators, and that they just kick him out. Like, they beat him up for a little bit, and that he gets transferred into space. So that's what I think that's gonna happen. So now we get to this shot in the trailer, and it's nothing really. People are saying like, "Oh my God, it's Unicron." It's nothing really. I think it's a part of an artifact of some kind, but I don't know. I thought for a minute, is that a tail? Like, this is my theory. What if it's a tail? Have you thought of that? What if it's a tail? For Tripticon, perhaps? I mean, it looks like a tail to me. I mean, that looks like a giant tail, but it's probably just like a giant, like, building or like a giant Cybertronian platform or something. But still, that'd be so cool if it's Tripticon, because it looks like a tail to me. That looks like a tail, but I highly doubt that's the case, but we'll see. The next shot in the trailer is more of Anthony Hopkins, and you see a little bit more of like the shielding of the knights and such. You see Isabel Moner, and you get to see a little bit of Squeaks, not a whole lot, but there's a little bit right there. I know he's going to be both CGI and realistic, so that's pretty cool that they showed the realistic body of Squeaks there, so that's pretty cool. And then we get to this shot, we see the human forces. They're called the Transformers Rescue Force, apparently what they're called. They have the upside down V, so you see that they're going to this location, and that they're surrounding Cade Yeager, of course. And then we get to this shot. Oh my gosh, we get to this shot. Okay, everybody, we need to talk about this shot right here. I mean, I don't know why people are saying that this could be Cybertron or something. This is Unicron. This has to be Unicron, okay? No question, because one, he is eating a planet. That is a huge nod to the 1985 movie. And, people are saying it could be like a cyberformed Cybertron, like a dark version of Cybertron. I highly doubt that they're going to go with that. This is Unicron, okay? He is devouring the moon, and it looks like he's heading to Earth. And I guess people are saying it could be Cybertron because of the octagon-looking like pillars that are on that planet. But I think that it could be Unicron, or maybe, this is my theory, maybe Cybertron becomes Unicron. That'd be pretty interesting, right? But maybe the creators get to Cybertron, and what happens is that they cyberform Cybertron, and that it becomes a home for Unicron to inhabit, and then he takes control of the planet, and now he has a new body. Maybe that's the theory, but I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. That's just my theory about it, but this is Unicron. No doubt about it. This has to be Unicron. It can't be. It can't be anything else, but I'm more than excited to see Unicron. That has to be Unicron. No doubt about it. It's Unicron. And then we get some more shots of Unicron like devouring the planet, and we get to see like Mark Wahlberg, Josh Duhamel, Laura Haddock, and Santiago Cabrera. Can't pronounce his last name, but we get to see them seeing like all the destruction going on. Laura Haddock, like, here's the shot that I was talking about. That junkyard scene. Here it is. Look at that. They filmed a lot here, and I'm thinking maybe she's running to Wreck-Gar to inform him that, hey, you should go help out the Autobots. Like, maybe you should go, finally put yourself out in the open, because maybe he has some significance to the story. Maybe Wreck-Gar knows something about Unicron. Who knows? But I feel like Isabella Moner's character right here is running to Wreck-Gar or that Autobot character that we saw. So that's what I'm thinking. But there's that. And then, of course, we get the shot of Bumblebee just throwing it down with this human-made machine turret. Now, check this out. You can tell that this is from the Transformers Rescue Force because of the upside-down V in the turret right there. So this is a Rescue Force turret. And you could tell that these humans, led by Josh Duhamel, are all about getting rid of Autobots. That is their main mission. They got this walker going around. And obviously it has no chance against Bumblebee. I mean, look at Bumblebee. He just takes that thing out with no problem whatsoever. So, and then we get a shot of Isabella Moner. I'm still trying to figure out what her significance is with the story. I don't know if she's supposed to be a, she's obviously the main female lead, but I don't know, like, what she's supposed to be. Is she supposed to be, according to what I know from the plot and everything that we've learned so far, she is an orphan, and she is, apparently she has a connection with the Transformers, mainly because of that Autobot character at the baseball stadium, and maybe Mark Wahlberg just happens to find her along his, like, a little adventure and such, but who knows. But, and then we get this cool shot of Mark Wahlberg holding, hold on, let me go back. This cool shot of, come on, get it over there. This cool shot of Mark Wahlberg holding the Cybertronian gun. That has to be a Cybertronian gun, no question about it. Look how big that gun is. Look at, like, all the little wires going around it. That has to be a Cybertronian gun, no question about it. And then we get this shot. There's a baby seat right there. Don't know why. But there is this cool shot right here of all types of Decepticons right here. There's a plethora of Decepticons right here. That green one in the back, I can't, like, zoom in on it, but there's a green one right there. That has to be Onslaught. No question about it. There's 4 of them, actually. There's this guy right there on the far left. There's a green one and a silver one on the far right. And if we keep going on the shot, the very last bit, there is someone right there in the middle of the explosion. So, I don't know. There's 4 of them. So, there's the Volkswagen, there's the Onslaught, there's maybe Barricades in there somewhere, and then Megatron. So, maybe that's the 4 Decepticons right there. Isabella Moner is witnessing all of these Decepticons right in front of her, and then these explosions go off right in front of her. Maybe that's my theory. Maybe the Transformers Rescue Force, like, flies in and actually, like, takes out the Decepticons before they get to Isabella Moner's character, and Mark Wahlberg, at this point, is working with the Rescue Force, and they save Isabella Moner's character, and that's how Mark Wahlberg and Isabella Moner meet for the first time. Maybe that's how it works, who knows? But then we get to this shot. This is one of my favorite shots of the trailer. This is Megatron, and he is looking freaking awesome. Look at him. Like, he is walking through an aftermath of a battle. He's got his giant, like, pickaxe in the back of his back. He's got the giant cannon. He looks awesome. And the thing I like about it is that he's being a loner. He's just being his own thing. He's just being his own beast. Get it? Because maybe he could be a beast? No? Okay. But I just like it. I just like that he's being a lone wolf. I just like that he's just doing what he does best. And this shot was awesome. I just like the design for Megatron also for this movie. He just looks so cool. And I'm just more than excited to see, like, what he does in the movie. And I just love his design so much. So he's really, really awesome. I really, really enjoyed, like, I just really, really like his look altogether. So next shot in the trailer is Mark Wahlberg running around. Josh Duhamel and Mark Wahlberg have a little bit of chemistry. It's kind of weird to see Mark Wahlberg having some long hair, honestly. Like, I'm still trying to get used to him having long hair in this movie. But, you get to see a little bit of chemistry between them. I have a feeling they're going to be, like, you're going to see them a lot together in this movie. I have a feeling that Josh Duhamel and Mark Wahlberg are going to be, like, very, very, they're going to be like the team. They're going to be like the duo in this movie. I think that's what's going to be like. But that was pretty cool. You can see Mark Wahlberg sliding down a water thing, and then Josh Duhamel saves him. And then we get this shot, which is kind of cool. We get to see Hot Rod just on a car chase. Looks very, very cool. I just like the speed, and I like the angle of this shot. And I like it. I really like the look of this shot, and I'm really excited to see car chases, because the one thing I love about Transformers movies is that they deliver on the car chases. That's the thing I love about, just about Transformers live action movies. They deliver when it comes to car chases. So really excited to see what they do with this car chase. But then, of course, we get to see my man himself, Megatron. And is this Josh Duhamel? Like the human right there? Like, what is going on with this scene? Are they, like, proposing a truce for Megatron? Or is this, like what is going on with Megatron in this scene? Are they proposing a truce or something? And I don't know, but the thing I want to talk about is that look at Megatron. He is silver. He looks kind of silverish. And he has kind of a black tone going on. I'm just saying, maybe he's the dragon. I could be totally wrong, but I like this shot because he literally just shows Josh Duhamel, or whoever that human is, business, and just puts down his pickaxe and just shows him who's boss. And he's wearing his mask and all that. And I hope we get to see his face a little bit in the movie, not just all the time mask. But cool design. I love the design for Megatron, as I've said again in this teaser trailer analysis. But I just love his design, and I am super fascinated to see like his whole purpose. And I want to see a fight between Megatron and Optimus Prime in this movie once again. I want to see it, and this time make it longer, because with Galvatron and Optimus Prime, it was really short. I want to see a long fight between Megatron and Optimus Prime, which we might get, because if we keep continuing the trailer, let me show you. Of course, there's some other shots like Mark Wahlberg and his hair. We see explosions going off. We get to see Bumblebee right here. We just pause very, very quickly. He's taking out Barricade, and he has his cannon out. Like, there was a featurette that came out, and it just shows Mark Wahlberg just slaying back and seeing just this going off, an explosion going off. But we didn't see Barricade in front of that shot. But now we see Bumblebee taking out his cannon and just shooting Barricade away. So that's pretty cool. I'm really excited to see how that car chase goes, just to see I'm really excited to see a lot of car chases, because there seems like there's going to be a lot of car chases in this movie. Primarily one huge car chase scene involving Bumblebee, Barricade, and Hot Rod. So really interested to see how that goes. But yeah, I'm really interested to see how they're going to explain how Barricade comes back, or why he's back, or how he came back, or if he wasn't even dead in Dark of the Moon. But who knows? But that's a pretty cool shot. And then of course we get to see Optimus Prime. There's an interesting thing about the shot of Optimus Prime. It's not on Earth. If you look at the back, there are stars. He is in outer space. And I'm thinking, maybe this is when he gets to meet the creators. That's just me. Maybe this is when he gets to meet the creators. Or maybe this is when he comes back to life, and then he travels to Unicron, and he starts to fight the creators once again. Maybe that's what happens. But I really hope that this shot has something to do with the creators, because the background just looks like he's in outer space, and it looks like he just landed. So I feel like maybe this is a shot with the creators. It has to be. Then of course we get to this shot right here. We get to see. Okay, when I first saw this, I thought, wait, Bumblebee's attacking Optimus? But no, it's actually Optimus Prime that's attacking Bumblebee, because look at that. He grabs Bumblebee by the face and pushes him down. And this is where I immediately went, this is Nemesis Prime. This has to be Nemesis Prime, because if you guys don't know who Nemesis Prime is a clone of Optimus Prime, or an evil version of Optimus Prime, and he was created in the 1985 cartoon. He was created by the Decepticons, and then in Armada he was created by Unicron. So it seems like they're taking the Armada route, where he was created by Unicron, and I like this aspect a lot. I love that we're finally going to get Nemesis Prime. Now a lot of people are saying that it's an evil version of Optimus Prime. Either way, evil version of Optimus Prime, a clone of Optimus Prime, it is Nemesis Prime. Either way, it is Nemesis Prime. He's got the purple eyes. He's taking out Bumblebee. Now, here's my theory. Here's what I think that why we have Nemesis Prime. My theory is that Optimus Prime is floating in space, right? And, you know, something made him this way. Maybe the creators meet Optimus Prime. They're trying to negotiate a deal or something, and then the creators are like, you know what? No, we're going to scan your body. Like they apparently were scanning his body while they were talking, right? And what happens is that this evil clone of Optimus Prime attacks the real Optimus Prime, and they go head to head. And Nemesis Prime defeats the real Optimus Prime, and he floats into space. And the creators, you know, of course the creators are going to have the upper hand, and then he goes out into space. And now we have Nemesis Prime. And Nemesis Prime goes to Earth, and he starts attacking all the Autobots one by one, starting with, I believe, Hound, because from all I can tell, Hound is not that prominent from the shooting or anything else that I saw. So, Hound was prominent in the first, half of the filming, but then everything else, I didn't really see Hound all that much. So, I don't know, does Hound die in this movie? I do not want Hound to die in this movie, but that is my theory. I mean, maybe the creators create Nemesis Prime, he attacks Optimus Prime, and that's why Optimus Prime's in space. Or maybe the creators just, you know, they find Optimus's dead body, they scan his body while he's still floating in space, and then they create a clone version of Nemesis Prime. Or maybe Optimus Prime is just evil, and they're going to introduce Dark Energon. Because remember, Dark Energon was very prominent in the Transformers Prime cartoon, and that seems like what they were taking inspiration from Age of Extinction and In the Last Night. Mainly because of Bumblebee's look. I swear, that has to be something from Transformers Prime. I mean, the look kind of looks like Transformers Prime Bumblebee. I've been saying that for the longest time. But yeah, he just slams Bumblebee down, and his parts are just flying out. Like, he took a beating. And Optimus Prime's just like, forgive me. He has his purple eyes. He ripped something out of Bumblebee. I don't know what that was. Maybe like a part of him. And then he pulls out his sword. You see Bumblebee is scared. And then all of a sudden, boom. He his sword is about to hit him. Now, I don't know if this is a confirmed hit. But look at see this? Like, see this hand right here? Like this yellow hand that pops out? Maybe Bumblebee just stops his fist from hitting him. Maybe that's what happens. But I highly doubt that Bumblebee is going to get killed off. I don't want that to happen. I highly doubt that will happen. Because look, the yellow fist just comes out right before it hits him. So I'm pretty sure Bumblebee dodged that hit. But still, it's going to be very, very cool to see Bumblebee versus Optimus Prime. We've been waiting for that. I've been waiting for that fight for a little bit. And I want to see how that would work out. And it's actually Bumblebee versus Nemesis Prime in a way. But overall, guys, this was an awesome trailer. So many cool things were revealed. Unicron possibly showing up. Nemesis Prime confirmed. Optimus Prime floating in space. So many cool things were showed off in this trailer. We're going to do so many other theory videos after this. And that's pretty much it for this teaser trailer analysis. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys let me know your thoughts on the trailer itself. If you guys think Unicron's going to appear, if Nemesis Prime is confirmed. And what do you guys think is going to happen to Bumblebee in this movie? And yeah, that's pretty much it for this teaser trailer analysis. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys check out my reaction to the trailer itself. And then you come back and watch the analysis and breakdown. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We're Wild Nation, and we always roll out. See you next time.